So today, I wanted to do a rebuttal of MikeTooNice's, MTN for short, review of Dave Gettlemen and why his grading was terrible. And if I had to grade MikeTooNice's video, I'd give him an A for effort, grade on the editing, but a D minus on the information given and the grading he used to basically enact his biases toward Dave Gettlemen. Because what you need to understand is MikeTooNice hasn't liked Dave Gettlemen from day one. He was never going to treat him fairly in this grading process. He has never liked Dave Gettlemen. He gives Dave Gettlemen zero credit. Even in Carolina, zero credit. I knew what I was getting into once I hit play on this video. And it played out exactly how I thought it would, which making this rebuttal so much easier. As much as I'd love to have you hear Mike in his own words, unfortunately, it's a 30-minute video. That would make for like a 45-minute rebuttal. You guys aren't tuning in for 45 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll give you guys a link to the video in the description box below so you can watch it and then maybe come back and hear the rebuttal or vice versa. So one of the players he always likes to highlight, not only in this video but in others, is Romeo Okwara and Devon Kennard. How letting these players walk for almost nothing or re-signing him for not a lot of money was the better option and what Dave Gettlemen should have done. Hindsight's 20/20, Mike. Devon Kennard and Romeo Okwara weren't very good when they were here. Devon Kennard's pass rushing grade is a 50, 51, 52. Not very good. The only reason he grades out overall on PFF is because he's a very good run stopper. We have no need for Devon Kennard's abilities. Romeo Okwara, same thing. Romeo Okwara sucked when he was with the Giants. He had some flash plays, but one year he graded out 45 and 48 collectively. Devon Kennard's highest pass rushing grade is actually with the Giants in 2014, 81.6. Fell off after that, and if I'm not mistaken, had suffered through injuries. Same with Romeo Okwara. Why am I keeping those players? Just because a player moves from one team to another and has success doesn't mean if they would have stayed with that same team and not moved on, would they have the same success? And that's the argument you're trying to make, and it's a bum argument because it holds no water. Are we going to argue that the Arizona Cardinals should have kept Marcus Golden because of the success he's having with the Giants? No. So why would you make that argument here? Why? Because you're biased. You wanted to prove that Dave Gettlemen was a shit GM. That's why you graded him a D+ in 2018 and a C- in 2019. But a lot of your arguments fall flat on their face to me because they're really easy to disprove. About 9-10 minutes into the video, all the way up to about the 16-minute mark, he goes in and talks about the 2018 draft. Goes through and grades all the 2018 draft picks that Dave Gettlemen had. Talks about how Dave Gettlemen should have done something similar to Indianapolis Colts. He feels it's egregious that Dave Gettlemen never even fielded calls in 2018 to move back in the draft. Here's the problem with your argument, Mike. You touch on it and you don't even use it in the equation to come out with your grade. And it's the biggest factor over anything else. Dave Gettlemen was hired to fix the Giants, not rebuild, which your move equates to. You wanted to move back in that draft and get the hypothetical players like Chubb and Quentin Nelson and all these other players. Here's the problem. Your argument falls flat on its face. Not only do you not know what Indy would have done at 3, because in that scenario, Indy's still at 3. I say they're still taking Quentin Nelson third overall. That's how good Quentin Nelson was in that draft. He was arguably graded almost as high as Saquon Barkley. Not to mention, I believe that same year, your argument was we should have taken a quarterback over Saquon Barkley. It's only recently that you've started going to this trade back route because you've seen the success with the Indianapolis Colts. Dave Gettlemen wasn't hired to rebuild this team. Why would he trade back? He was hired to win, add some pieces with the roster we had. Right or wrong, it doesn't matter if you think you should have rebuilt in 2018. When your boss tells you to do something, you do it. That's what Amara expected out of Dave Gettlemen, and that's what Dave Gettlemen attempted to do. Yes, it failed. If you want to go ahead and give him a failing grade for that, go right ahead. But I think that'd be unfair because the general manager is in his first season. Moving on to 2019. Again, gives Dave Gettlemen a C- grade. And the only reason he gives Dave Gettlemen a C- grade, or not lower than a C- grade, is because of the success of Daniel Jones and how he found the future quarterback. Or what looks to be our future quarterback. Here's the problem with Mike's grading system. Each and every year, you could go back and regrade every draft class. Because each and every year, players ascend, descend, ascend, descend. You won't really get a feel for a player for the next 3 or 4 years. So Mike's grades on Dave Gettleman draft picks, as they sit, will change from year to year to year. What if Dave Gettleman and Pat Shurmur come out next and the Giants go to the playoffs and hypothetically win the Super Bowl? What's MikeTooNice going to say then? Would he say he's wrong? I don't think so. Mike's biased toward Dave Gettleman, and that's fine. It's his channel. He can do what he wants with it. But I'm going to call out bullshit when I see it. And that's what it was. I'm not saying I don't agree with Mike on certain things. I do. This was BS in my opinion. Again, like I said in the beginning of the video, a D+ grade at best. The fact of the matter is, me and Mike have gone through debate after debate on Dave Gettleman. And he hates Dave Gettleman so much. Here's a proving fact. Marty Hurney did a lot of drafting for Carolina before Dave Gettleman got there. There's no... MikeTooNice always likes to argue that Dave Gettleman won with Marty Hurney's players. If you guys don't know who Marty Hurney is, he's the current GM and the former GM of the Carolina Panthers before and after Dave Gettleman got there. Here's the problem with MikeTooNice's argument. Marty Hurney is a loser. He has a losing record as a GM in the NFL. Marty Hurney couldn't win with Marty Hurney's players. Marty Hurney still hasn't had the success Dave Gettleman did with Marty Hurney's players. So who really did a better job? Marty Hurney or Dave Gettleman? And Mike's eventually going to have to admit Dave Gettleman is better than he's willing to admit. Because here's the problem. If Dave Gettleman does get fired, either this year or next year, like a lot of Giants fans want, there's going to come a time, probably maybe with the next GM, and I believe sooner rather than later, where we are going to have a problem. And that GM is going to begin to win. He's going to begin to win with a roster largely constructed by Dave Gettleman. Who are you going to give credit then to, Mike? Because if you're willing to give credit for Marty Hurney for the same exact thing, you got to give credit to Dave Gettleman. Either way, it's been one giant rebuttal. Please like and subscribe, and go Big Blue.